So, cornering, and I'm not on about cornering in the race sense, I'm on about street specific cornering. Now, there's so many videos out there on body position, counter steering, lean, all of that jazz, and believe me, I have watched them all. But here is what I have learnt. Now, bear in mind, I am no expert. I don't do race track days, I don't do race track body position. But I have always felt that I don't lean enough in a corner, and so I have watched a lot of videos and I've tried a lot of different things, and this for me is what has worked the best. So you go find a corner like this. See, you got 40-mile-an-hour limit, it's long, it's sweeping. Usually you don't have roadworks going on, so that would have carried the whole way. And when you find a long corner like this, usually there will be somewhere where you can turn around, like here at the bottom, a roundabout. And all you do is just practice that corner until you got it right. Just keep going round and round that corner and practice all the different techniques. Now, it's worth noting you are riding on the street. I've got myself in a full off the bike, you know, like this race position, well, not even like that, much further, and you do that when a car is on the other side. The street roads are just not wide enough to allow you to corner like you would on a racetrack. So for street riding, really, if you look at it, MOTOJITSU actually covered this beautifully. He said, you know, I teach you all these techniques so you know what they are, but for street riding I stay on a neutral position. And what he means by that is his body, you know, is neutral. It's not off the bike or either way. And what he does, and what he says, and what works for me, is obviously you need to look where you're going. Your chin is the direction that you want to go, and then just slightly move your body, and then push or pull for counter steering. For me, I'd actually do both. That works better. When I push down, I don't push straight, and that doesn't do it enough. And the bike will tip then with counter steering. But for me, the thing that works the best is just lean over towards your mirror, and what that will do is, depending what way you're leaning, it will mean that your elbow starts to come in, your arm stretches over, and you then wind up in the position for the bike to lean. You don't need to move a cheek off, but if moving a cheek off works for you, pull a cheek off. It is what works for you and what you're comfortable with. And for me, hanging off the bike, I'm not very good at it. It takes too long. By the time I got myself into the body position to hang off the bike, the corner's gone, or I'm going into the corner too slow. So for me, it's literally, you know, if you want to lean a little bit more, you just start putting your head towards that mirror, and that will work wonders. Because when I move over, my elbow tucks in, my body opens up, my head is going where it should be going, looking through the corner. You're just naturally in that position. It's not about weight. I can lean off the bike either way now, and the bike's not moving. It is the steering inputs that, you know, the push-pull, and that's what tips the bike more, not completely. And just by playing about with just kiss the mirror is what some people say. I wouldn't go that far, you just move in that direction. But if it helps, you know, coming up on this corner here, some people just take half a cheek off. You know, put your leg out if that helps. It's entirely up to you. I mean, for me, like doing 50 miles an hour on a country road, I feel a bit of a prat putting my leg right out. I'm not leaning it over. and being Rossi round that corner. So really just a neutral position. I just take the knee out, but without moving my body off, so it's not an exaggerated full race position, and that is more than enough to get you round 90% of what the roads do. So when you're looking at body position and leaning off and everything else, oh fuck you then really, you know, it's what works for you. If going fully off the bike here with your knee down, you know, doing all that stuff is what makes you feel comfortable, you do you. If it works, I mean, if anything, you're being a bit more technically right, but the majority of the time, if you feel like you're not leaning, just go for the mirror. And you can see straight away on a straight line here, I just go for the mirror and the bike just goes in those directions, because by doing that I'm putting just a little bit of weight on these bars, and that's what's engaging the bank and enabling me to lean. You're welcome, prick. God, everyone today is rude. Car park fun. Right. Car park manoeuvres, although fun, not as fun as riding a bike. Should have also, when I was doing my car park manoeuvres, got off and stretched a little bit. Schoolboy error. I mean, to show going off the bike and how it can be dangerous is, let's say here I'm going to the outside, I'm now moving to the inside. You see, you want to be about here when you're off the bike, and that's where a car's coming, if a car was coming. When you're doing it on this side here, you know, it's not so bad because you're coming up to the curb, but really, you know, when you see these guys moving in and they're putting their body off, you know, racetrack is like 4 times the width of this road here. There's just not enough room. You're moving from here to here, you know, from here to here. It's not, by the time you've moved your body, you've already done the maneuver. That's why if you're coming up here, you just kiss and you're over. And if you need to be more quicker with your turn, then you exaggerate it a little bit more, and then you will move the bike quickly from one direction to another. It's fun to practice and know how to do this stuff, so if you can, you know, just do it. No one's around me at the moment, I'm riding along. If I want to practice trying to get a knee down, then, you know, what's the harm? Always to your ability, but to the conditions. It's like this country road here, you know you're going to get these cyclists out, you know that cars are going to be wanting to overtake them. So realistically, although this is a fantastic road and you want to use the whole width, realistically, if I'm going into a right hand turn, I don't want to be more than here, because if I'm here, then I've got, you know, oncoming cars in my way. Same way, you know, if you're on the left hand side here, you've then got, you know, drain covers and things like that. So really, you've got here to here is your safe area to maneuver. And within that safe area, do you need to be dragging a knee? No. Oh, that's nice. And at the end of the day, corners are fun. And fun might be 50 miles an hour, fun might be 100 miles an hour. You know, it's is for you. It might be 30 miles an hour, and that's where you just, you know, find out what works for you. I mean, there's nothing wrong with, you know, like even coming through here, you know, just practicing, you know, just, oh, if I was, you know, really hooding it, where would my position be, where would I want to be? And that's the other thing, look at all these like potholes and, you know, bits in the road. So say I go over this bit here, that's the bit you don't want to do, and if you're leant over and you hit that and it's wet, that's a bad Sunday. And that's why on the street, riding that way, you know, it doesn't give you a lot of room for error. Sure, you know, go learn those techniques, but don't learn them to use them. Learn them to know what they are, but there's a time and a place for it, you know. It's, this RR can do, you know, 100 and close to 200 miles an hour. Is that appropriate on the street? No. Is it fun? Oh, fuck yeah. I mean, here I'm just averaging 50 miles an hour in third gear and just swooping nicely through these corners. You know, I'm not excessively leaning, I'm not, you know, coming off, but it's, you know, sun's out, but it's still a little moist in areas. And am I enjoying this ride? Yes, I am. You know, can you take it up a little bit quicker? Yeah. Can you take it a little bit slower? Yeah. It's up to you. Don't feel you have to be, you know, off the bike, knee down, you know. So many, if you are doing that, then that's where you're going to find yourself in positions that are a little precarious. Like here, you know, if I'm really wanting to go through this corner, I'd be over the white line. And if a car's coming the other way, that doesn't give me a lot of time to move over. Another cornering technique, especially on, well, works on any bike, not just sports bike, is just you keep straight and you just let the bike dip between your legs. You know, I think people call it pushing it down. So you're staying upright or counterweighting to a certain extent. So like here on this corner, I just push the bike down, it moves over, and I've stayed completely upright. I haven't moved with the bike. Now that's not leaning, but you're leaning the bike over. Again, you just got to try it all. See what works for you. Kiss in the mirror, you know, you might hate it. And for you, you know, you literally stay upright and you just pull a cheek off, you know, and that's what works for you. Go do it. Another thing I like to practice with cornering is not braking, you know, getting that speed right, but trying to stay in one gear. So I just stay in third, you know, and that way I'm not getting too boisterous going into these corners. I mean, obviously if I need to touch the brake, I touch the brake. I'm not gonna fucking kill myself here, but it's just nice to just practice, you know, staying in one gear. Always look where you want to go, enter in at the right speed, and just keep your throttle at a constant. Don't be jerking your throttle, so you just look in where you want to go and then accelerating. As soon as you see the exit, you then start rolling on. Straight to the face. see here, my head was over the line if a car was coming. I could see one wasn't, which is why I put myself in that position. But again, here, coming through this corner, you don't want to be too far over because even like a hedge can come out and attack you. So you see through here, you want to be coming over to that line. Now I see no one's there, now I can come out to it, and then I'm close to the line here because of this turn in here, but you see that car made me pull in just a little bit earlier. But you've always got to be on the lookout for a car coming around the corner, and that's where you've got to have just that sense about you to just pull yourself in. And that's why if I was hanging off the bike there with my knee down, you know, it's going to take longer to get myself back up onto the bike and move it over than just staying in a neutral position and taking that corner at a nice, you know, 60-70 miles an hour, which, you know, is the legal limit. Well, 70 maybe not, but 60 is the legal limit. And to be fair, the limits are kind of there for a reason. You know, you don't have to smash them. You know, if it's a 30, you shouldn't be doing 80. But at the same time as 30, you could be, you know, quite safe at 50, especially on a bike. But street riding, I don't know, with YouTube and the information out there, for me as well, I felt, oh, you know, I'm not riding fast enough. I'm not doing, you know, that's why, you know, I can't get my knee down. You know, it's kind of, YouTube itself is kind of a pressure, and of course you then can research everything you want, and the majority is, if you're researching how to corner, it's how to corner fast. And if you're going to corner fast, it is because you're doing it on a track, not on the road. Because on the road, all of those things, well, for me in any case, and I would say the majority of riders and the videos I've watched of riders far better than me, who tell you on the street, literally your body position is, you know, just kick your knee out, most importantly put your chin where you want to go, and just counter steer, and that is all you need to do.
Okay, I think this is a good place to end the video, and as always, thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. And the real reason why you shouldn't hang off a bike on the street is coming up.